Big Brother, well, is coming, although not as soon as a lot of people thought for the government, perhaps. That's because the Supreme Court ruling now requiring police to get a warrant to obtain mobile phone location data. That's going to slow that part of it down, but there's some other parts of this issue that are also pretty interesting, including the facial recognition software boom. And that's even more threatening to me because it's not only allowing private companies to play the role of Big Brother, but sooner or later, everyone will be Big Brother. Is there anything we can do about it? Well, let's bring in two of the best on this topic. Kurt Knutsson, a cyber guy and tech expert. Morgan Wright, cybersecurity expert, former state trooper. Kurt, let me start with you first on the Supreme Court ruling. What do you make of it?
All right, double-edged sword on this one. There's an easy way to be a proponent or opponent for either side. Here's what happened. The Supreme Court today came down and they said law enforcement can no longer use this rule that says that even though you're not using a warrant and you and I or another company might be willing to sell us cell phone data that they acquire from Verizon, Sprint, AT&T, and the likes, they consider that no longer acceptable. They will now in the future have to get a warrant for that information. That's a win for privacy advocates. It does not change what our big concern would be like, hey, wait a minute, did you just stop our own national security from being able to protect us by, keeping an eye on bad guys? The fact is, no, this changes nothing related to that. It has nothing to do with that, in fact. So I see this as a plus for privacy and not a big withdrawal in terms of law enforcement access. Those who work in law enforcement on a local level aren't going to like this one bit, though.
Morgan, your thoughts?
Look, Kurt got a lot of that right, but I will tell you there's another thing too, Charles. I was out in San Francisco 2 years ago at the RSA conference, which then Attorney General Loretta Lynch was talking about Apple, and we're going to talk about some of that. No one company should be able to determine the national security interests of the United States. What we're looking at here is a lot of lawful techniques. The bigger issue is going to be is whether or not the Supreme Court ruling is going to have a chilling effect on companies working with law enforcement, especially on exigent circumstances. When we start talking about missing children, criminal cases, active shooter cases, ongoing types of, when it's terrorism, the FBI is going to get involved. But look, as with anything, and look, being a former cop, 18 years, a lot of this happens when law enforcement pushes it to the edge. They probably should have got a warrant, but on the other hand, we got to be careful that we don't reach too broadly and handcuff law enforcement too much, because when the wolf comes knocking on the door, and the wolf will, I don't want people going, well, why didn't you stop it? Well, don't handcuff my hands behind my back.
Now, on another part of the technology world that I found intriguing this week, a couple of dueling stories. In China, they're taking this massive surveillance that with using facial recognition, they're taking it out into their subway system. They already have it where cops wear dark sunglasses and all they're doing is surveilling people through facial recognition. In universities, they can use it to tell if students are motivated or if they're bored. And you think about that because now in America, we're starting to get a little bit concerned here. You've got these software out there that allows companies to use facial recognition. In a sense, they're taking big steps toward a private company being Big Brother. It's something that we've always been afraid of.
They are. And you didn't mention the big one out of China. If you live in China, they have the ability to write you a jaywalking ticket within seconds of you crossing the street illegally. And you will have to pay it because they know within seconds exactly who you are. And what we're afraid of for privacy advocates in the U.S. is that that would become part of our standard way of living in the U.S. We're not used to that kind of monitoring. We don't find that acceptable usually. But at the same time, we don't want to take that away from the law enforcement that needs that access. Right. Amazon is really at the centerpiece of this story right now. They have a technology called recognition used with a K instead of a C. And that is really brilliant facial recognition technology that, for example, the most recent popular use of it was actually the royal wedding. It was implemented to find out, since they didn't give us the guest list, who would be walking in that chapel of the 600 or so guests.
But, Morgan, anyone can buy this right off of the AWS service. Anybody can buy it, including corporations and even individuals. And there are companies out there working on advancements on that essentially you might be able to surveil anyone that you wanted to as an individual. And so we were always worried about the government being Big Brother. It could be your neighbor.
I moderated a panel with some folks from MIT, and I asked a former NSA lawyer one time, I said, who do you fear most, the NSA, FBI, and CIA, or Google, Facebook, and Amazon? Without a doubt, it's Google, Facebook, and Amazon. And the recent congressional hearings with Mark Zuckerberg. They capture far more information than the government ever legally could. And by the way, a lot of the facial recognition, that's okay, but it's really the behavior based. We're moving beyond just facial recognition. We're looking at advanced. I'm doing some work in artificial intelligence right now on advanced analytics, and we're looking at behavior. We're looking at context. We're looking at searchable capabilities. So there are some good things coming. We just got to make sure that we don't slow it down so much, that we impact national security and private, our own
and
safety.
just accept the fact that at some point, the only privacy we'll have left might be the far corners of our minds.